let's have a quick chit chat about Obos. So I had read a few things on this and saw a few reviews on this pencil, and for the most part, what everybody had to say about it was good. So I was pretty excited when these showed up. The first thing I want to talk about is the cover. It's a box as opposed to a tin, which is a nice change because it's a nice one of the thicker boxes. I like this solid green. It's different. I like how there's a lot of negative space. Then you have the one image. I even like this bronze color. The back of it has, it's a unique looking design in that I could almost imagine this being the cover of a generic box. But what I want to talk about, it's, the image. I enjoy this image. I think this image, it just looks really nice and it fits this cover. My issue with it is the same as, several of these types of designs where you have a picture that's just kind of random. And not that the deer is random, but that this is like a watercolor image that has really nothing to do with the 200 pencils inside this box. It's just that thing that just, maybe because I'm an illustrator, I don't know if it's just me, but I would be so much more impressed if you're going to go through all the effort of making, your own set of color pencils, take that couple extra steps and, get an illustrator to draw or design something with the pencils, that you're selling. It would speak volumes, but neither here nor there. It is what it is. All in all, I think it's a really nice box. I really like the simplicity of this. Let's look at the inside. Very first thing we have here is a swatch sheet. And I'm using this loosely. I love when a company puts in the swatch sheet in their set. My issue with this is one step away from being useless. Not just in that the boxes are so tiny, because at least they did put the numbers on them, which is great, but the boxes are real small. But what gets me is the paper quality itself. This is not even a standard, typing paper quality. This is this super thin, almost like a step away from rice paper. So yes, thumbs up that they put this in their set, but I expect most of you will go out and actually make a good swatch sheet that goes with these pencils. Something I like, the way the pencils are beautiful, by the way, beautiful set of pencils. I really like how they're organized. Very, very, very appealing to the eye. Something that's a little different. When I go through this, you'll see it's not just the gradients from like yellow to red and the next one's red to purple. Each tray has its own section of gradients. So this one is the red and yellow and the green and blue and the brown. And it's just very appealing to the eye. And again, that's just one of those things that's kind of important to me. It does come with two sharpeners, so I want to point that out. Most of us will never use these, but the fact that if this is a beginner's set, that something they settle on, it's nice that they did include those. But you see what I mean? Like now it's like more warms into the greens and like more of the turquoise into the browns again. I'm just very impressed with the first impression of these are very nice. Beautiful purples. Like every tray is this masterpiece, and it's just, again, just super appealing to the eye. If we look at one of these pencils, it's standard pencil. You can have your barrel that matches your lead. The back is dipped. Most of these leads are centered. You have high quality. Then you have colored pencil. And here's where you have their logo. Love that they put their logo on. This is an extra cost for this company to add their logo. So it's not just a bunch of random, pre-set, stamps for the template. They actually went and designed their logo. Love that. Has the two bands for the frills. But here's the part I want to point out, the thing that just tickled me. This is possibly the first set that I could remember ever seeing that has the number in the back 3 times. So when you're looking for a certain number, those of you who organize by swatch, when you're looking for a certain number, you got to spin that pencil until a number pops up. This, you only have to spin it 1/3 of a way because the number lines up with each of the stamps on the pencil. This tickled me. I don't know that I've seen a pencil do that before. And I love it. I think that is the coolest, most convenient organization feature that I've seen on a pencil. When we go as far as to talk about the colors, now I've watched a few videos and read a few comments on this. I've seen a couple of people compare these to Neoni, and I don't know if it's, from what I saw, if it's because of the color palette or if it's simply that they have that same feel to them, or, I'll even go as far as say, because somebody says, you know what, these are from China also, and apparently every pencil in China, they feel it's made, that they're all white labeled. So I was kind of expecting these to have a very, very similar tie-in to Neoni, which I love, by the way. I love Neoni. My personal opinion is these are closer to, I would say, like a Storajoy or a Maurice. And I was using those back to back, and I did use these with Neoni as well. And I do understand why people might compare those. They are very similar, but everybody's going to feel things differently. My personal opinion on it is I think these are closer to a Maurice than a Neoni. Same thing with a Storajoy. And you're not wrong comparing them to different things. It's just like I said, each of us feel things differently. If we look at the color palette, gorgeous color palette. You could see just the colors all together just have a stunning look to them. Very impressed with how all of these come together. Something I loved, and I feel like I don't see it enough. And again, we're dealing with 200 colors here, so they do have the ability to have some beautiful gradients. But what I really like about this is the yellows go seamlessly into the oranges and then into the reds, but they also turn around, and again, the yellows go right into the browns, where you have that rich, vivid ochre, and that ochre goes into your light umber, into your dark umber. It's just the yellows and earth tones are just beautiful. Same thing with the greens. They give you a variety of that lime green where it almost teeters with the neon, but then it goes right into that deep forest green, that deep olive green. And then you have those greens that almost they flirt with being a brown color. I love that because those are really great for highlighting some of your true greens. When it comes to your purple, sometimes you get shorted on those. That is not the case with Obos. They give you a beautiful set of purples that go into your mauves, that go into your deep violets, and then transitioning perfectly into your blues. And then something I want to point out as well, your grays at the bottom, they do not leave you wanting. They gave you a great set of your cool grays and your warm grays, and then they even throw in some of those grays that are teetering with being a color, so it's like a brown gray or a green gray. The grays are just a wonderful selection. Let me show you. I'm going to pull out Maurice. So if you look at this color palette, this is why I was saying these two are so similar. There are so many of these colors that they could fall from one palette right into the other. And there's several cases of this. Now, I have a feeling I could pull out a swatch sheet and say how it compares. But as far as the way this felt to me, like the physical attributes of this pencil felt very similar to, again, a Maurice or a Storajoy. As far as the performance of these pencils, I don't want to oversell them. But because they are a good first pencil, they have a little bit of a struggle to it. There's zero learning curve to using these, but I kind of felt like the wax to pigment ratio was just a little off-centered, where it's more wax than pigment, where you kind of find yourself, pushing a little more to get the pigment you want. Nothing deal breaking with it, because again, they do go down really nicely. I wanted to, because of this palette, I wanted to find myself a drawing that had just a lot of details and a lot of fun colors, but I ended up settling on a little teacup cat because I needed to hurry up and finish the cover to my next book. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and use these on that, and they did not disappoint. I was excited to play around with the teals and then those deep greens because they have just a beautiful set of greens, and they layered really well. I found these being blend. I was blending easily with the soft blenders, the aggressive blenders, the mid-range blenders. They had no issues at all with these. The lead, what I wanted to say earlier, because of the wax feel, the thing you are gonna have a little bit of is that crumble, where the lead doesn't want to maintain itself. Now, I did not have this happen often, but I would say during this one color session, I had 3 to 5 leads snap or just crumble, or the tips break. And I don't think I was using any more pressure on these than I do any of my other sets, but I think that's the trade-off. So we're not talking about a super high quality set of pencils, and at the same time, I think we are talking about getting a good quality pencil that matches or exceeds the price that we're going to pay for these. And because of that, I do think this is a wonderful addition to add. I have no worries as far as thinking these would be white labeled. It didn't seem to fall into that category, again, in my own personal opinion. And because of that, I'm very comfortable recommending these as a first set where you get a whole slew of colors with a good quality pencil, or as an addition to your other sets, again, just because of the range and the attributes of this pencil. So if you get a chance, go ahead and get your hands on some Obos.
Sugar Sorito.